Tonight, there'll be no run at the top job by the Mayor. Sir Sadiq Khan is at the Labour Party conference where the Prime Minister is facing a test of his leadership, but Sir Sadiq told us he doesn't want to be in number 10.
Do you have any ambitions to return to national politics?
I've got no ambitions at all to be an MP again.
Also ahead, could there be an end to the tube strikes? We'll have the latest on talks with TfL. The Olympia pet exhibition that wasn't the best in show, organisers insist it wasn't a scam. Sally's latest hid in London, a King's Cross cemetery that inspired the modern-day phone box. And
go on, release.
Swing when you're winning, the team that helped Europe retain the Ryder Cup. Good evening. Amid speculation around the future of Sir Keir Starmer as Prime Minister, one man who absolutely will not be replacing him is Sir Sadiq Khan. The Mayor categorically ruled out ever being leader today, telling ITV News London it simply isn't on his radar. Sir Sadiq is in Liverpool for the first full day of the party's conference, where there's been tough talk on tax, housing and immigration. But the Mayor says his focus is the capital and a possible fourth term in office. From Liverpool, here's our political correspondent, Simon Harris.
Show me what community looks like.
Dawn Butler's Jamaican Night has become an annual event at the Labour conference.
This is what community looks like.
In Liverpool last night, the Brent MP was joined on stage by the politician whose job she openly admits she wants one day, Sadiq Khan.
Looking around this diverse room, Donald Trump's worst nightmare!
London's mayor is in his third term at City Hall. He's yet to reveal if he'll stand again in 2028. But at a conference gripped by speculation about the Prime Minister's future, he has ruled himself out of trying to become Labour leader. When we spoke next to the River Mersey, I asked him about his ambitions. Have you decided yet if you will stand again in 2028?
I think it's an indulgence to talk about my future when I'm so impatient to deliver for the future of Londoners.
But voters want to know, and it's reasonable enough, isn't it, to ask whether you're going to stand for a fourth
I
term?
want to reassure Londoners who voted for me last May. I was elected on a 4-year term, and I'm going to serve out that 4-year term.
But not thinking about beyond that?
Listen, I'm always, as I've said before, when I was first elected in 2016, my plan is to serve 8 terms.
When will you actually decide then if you are going to do that fourth term?
Well, every time I've stood, I've said I want to run for 8 terms, but every time when I've stood, I've made sure I've focused on serving Londoners, and as and when the election approaches, I then set out my intentions.
Do you have any ambitions to return to national politics?
I've got no ambitions at all to be an MP again.
So never be Labour leader?
I will never be Labour leader.
Labour's popularity among London voters will be put to the test in the Borough Council elections next May.
We'll get some clues from the London Borough elections next year as to how robust the Labour vote is and who's the main challenger to Labour when it comes to the mayoral election in 2028. My guess is he'll wait and see till he's got all that information before making a final decision.
But for now, the Mayor is keeping his powder dry and keeping everyone else guessing.
Simon, on to a different subject, though. You've got word of a potential breakthrough in TfL's discussions with the RMT.
Yes, Duncan, no one will need reminding that earlier this month we had one of the most disruptive strikes on the Underground for a long time. Members of the RMT, who are basically station staff, walked out in a dispute over pay and hours, bringing much of the network to a standstill for the best part of the working week. Underground workers have been offered a 3.4% pay rise, and while 3 out of 4 unions indicated they were happy with that, the RMT was holding out for a better deal. In particular, it wanted to cut the working week from 35 hours to 32 hours and from a 5-day week to a 4-day week. London Underground said that was totally unaffordable, would cost hundreds of millions of pounds and wouldn't happen. That led to the strike. The RMT, though, has now been in fresh talks, and we understand a new offer has been made. Underground workers are being offered 3.4% this year, but in a 3-year deal, they'll get a pay rise next year and the year after in line with inflation. There have been no concessions on hours, but we understand the National Executive Committee of the RMT will discuss that, which on the face of it sounds like progress.
OK, Simon, Liverpool, thank you very much. A manhunt is underway in Camden after a stabbing in a park on Saturday afternoon. Ambulance crews went to Camden Gardens just after 3 in the afternoon, but a 44-year-old man later died in hospital. Graham Stothard has more.
Just minutes away from one of London's most famous high streets, a park wrapped in police tape. Life-saving equipment still in situ. The remnants of a weekend stabbing that saw a 44-year-old man killed. This is a busy part of Camden. Cafes and shops close by. For those working here, it's a tragic incident, but not a surprise.
In the shop, I feel safer because obviously I know the people, but walking down the street, I definitely walk faster to avoid people.
Video from the day shows paramedics trying to save the man's life. Police holding sheets to shield the small area of Camden Gardens where he was stabbed. They're asking anyone with CCTV of the area to come forward or any witnesses. There would have been passers-by. This didn't happen in the middle of the night.
It happened in the middle of the day. Police were called at around 3:30 in the afternoon. Yet still, more than 48 hours on, the park remains cordoned off and a suspect is yet to be located.
A number of people we spoke to said in the past few years the park has become a centre for antisocial behaviour.
This bit of North London's always had different pockets of where there've been a bit rough areas, but I've never felt that it was never a no-go area.
I'm not surprised, but I think it's a fairly safe area as long as you're careful.
Police say they're supporting the victims' friends and family, and there'll be more patrols in the area for the coming days as the hunt for his killer continues. Graham Stothard, ITV News.
A woman from Southend died after being bitten by her dog as her two pets fought over food, an inquest heard. 34-year-old Michelle Hempstead died the day after the incident in July last year. A single bite from her dog severed an artery and a vein, which led to multi-organ failure. The coroner ruled her death as an accident. In a letter read out to the court, her mother remembered her as a hard-working, brave and generous daughter. The former MP George Galloway has pledged to take legal action against the Met Police after he and his wife were stopped by counter-terrorism officers when they returned from a trip to Moscow. The 71-year-old was questioned on Saturday after flying back to Gatwick from Russia via Abu Dhabi. Metropolitan police officers could soon be made to tell bosses if they're Freemasons. Freemasons take an oath of loyalty to support fellow members. Scotland Yard said concerns have been raised about the impact being a member could have on investigations, promotions and misconduct. The Old Bailey has heard that a gunman disguised as a Deliveroo rider shot an 8-year-old girl and her father during a spree of targeted attacks. The prosecution told the jury that Jazz Reid allegedly shot the child twice and the man 5 times as they sat in a car in Ladbroke Grove. Reid has denied all the charges against him. Helen Keenan is at the Old Bailey for us tonight. Helen, what else was heard in court today?
Well, today the trial of Jazz Reid did get underway, as you say, at the Old Bailey, where he stands accused of opening gunfire into a car in West London while in disguise, injuring an 8-year-old girl and her father as part of a series of targeted attacks. Now, the prosecution described how they had nowhere to hide when 11 shots were fired at the car. 5 of those hit the 34-year-old father, 2 of them hit the child. Now, the incident happened in Ladbroke Grove in November last year. Other family members were also in the car. They were uninjured. Today, the court had Reid allegedly dressed up as a Deliveroo driver. He got a hire car which he drove to a nearby flat where he was storing an e-bike, it said, and that Deliveroo bag. The defendant is said to have also tried to cover his tracks by switching his SIM card and his mobile phone. Now, the prosecution say that this is one of 3 linked shootings involving 2 guns. Now, each planned and executed, they say, with precision. One of those firearms was found under a concrete slab in front of Reid's home. It contained 17 live rounds. Now, the 32-year-old appeared in the dock today dressed in a green zip-up top. He's charged with the attempted murder of the father and wounding with intent of the daughter and another man, along with several firearms offences. He denies all of the charges against him, and the trial continues.
Helen at the Old Bailey, thank you. Still to come on the programme.
Look what you've gone and done! I'm going out of here!
From the chaos of kids' TV to the perils of renting, presenters Dick and Dom join us live and... the Londoners who played a key role in one of golf's greatest ever nights. But first, it was supposed to be a pet fair to remember, but stallholders at last week's London pet show live at Olympia say it was just an event to forget. Organisers estimated 20,000 people would attend. In the end, it was around a tenth of that. And those who paid to exhibit told ITV News London they feel let down and out of pocket. Today, the event hosts insisted the exhibition was not a scam and will be better next year. Callum Fairhurst has more.
It was billed the UK's biggest show for pet lovers, but London Pet Show Live didn't quite live up to expectations.
A bunch of people downstairs have just packed up.
More than 20,000 people were expected, but in reality, there were a lot less. Craig owns a dog accessories brand. He paid £1,500 to be here, but only made a handful of sales, and most of those were to other stallholders.
It's really left a bit of a financial hole to us and a lot of people. We were relying on that income to help pay our bills. The footfall was very, very light. At times, aisles were empty. A lot of people that we spoke to, they didn't even have pets.
Organisers admit things didn't go to plan, but videos do show some people at the venue. They point to spending six figures on the event, telling ITV London, "Unfortunately, the event did not achieve the audience numbers that were targeted. It is ultimately our responsibility as organisers to exercise stricter oversight and intervene earlier when results fell short. We've been in direct contact with exhibitors to address concerns on a case-by-case basis and continue to do so."
Paul, good girl.
But some stallholders say they've lost lots of money and couldn't believe many pets weren't allowed inside.
If you're going to run a dog event that's aimed at dogs and dog parents, to not have dogs there to me seems completely counterproductive. The dog is your customer, really. The dog will walk around sniffing things, want to taste things, want to try things. And I think alongside other exhibitors, what I really want is a refund on what I paid. I think that's only fair, and I think that would be the right and honourable thing to do.
But one consumer expert says whilst disappointing, there's never a guarantee at events like this.
When it comes to exhibitions, you are always taking a gamble, frankly, unless it's something that has a really good track record and you absolutely know there's going to be a huge amount of footfall. But even then, you could have a stall that's just in the wrong place.
Organisation may not have been the best in show, but those behind it stress lessons have been learned ahead of the 2026 event, though many exhibitors say they won't be taking that risk again. Callum Fairhurst, ITV News London.
Now, Dick and Dom are fondly remembered by thousands of Gen Z kids who grew up watching the duo's antics in The Bungalow, complete with a series of messy games. Here's a reminder of what they used to get up to.
Another bungalow.
I have no control over these guys whatsoever. I don't know how to control them. I have no idea.
Now the pair have moved out of The Bungalow and into the world of rented accommodation for their new project to highlight problems around end-of-tenancy repairs and cleaning. Big concerns for many of us here in the capital. More than 7 in 10 renters between 18 and 34 end up losing part, if not all, of their rental deposits at the end of a tenancy. Dick and Dom, welcome to you both.
Thank you.
I don't think a man in a suit with greying hair can respectably say in the bungalow.
Of course you can.
Yeah. Do you think in the bungalow? No, I can't pull it off.
Well, we lived in that bungalow for many years, but in real life, we actually lived together as well when we weren't doing the show. So we rented flats for about 6 or 7 years together. Mm-hmm. But we always used to lose deposit, because we didn't realise things like hanging pictures on walls, leaving holes in walls, or not cleaning the oven, you'd get done for it. You know, they'd take away your deposit.
I mean, we didn't realise that something as simple as putting a nail into a wall, you can lose. Well, firstly they say we need to get someone in to fill it all in, and then we need to get someone to repaint the whole wall because the colour won't match. Blah 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 blah. So we've teamed up with Google, who've got a great AI tool that can help people at the end of their tenancy know exactly what they need to buy, where to buy it from, how long it's going to take, and how to do it as well, just by pointing their phone at the problem.
The thing is, when you're renting, that money, you need that money back for the next property, and it is so expensive, especially in the capital. And if you lose money to scuff marks, and I've been there and done that.
It's annoying, isn't it? Because they're so easy to fix these things. We just don't think we should do it. But people are losing between £500 and £1,000 on the deposit because of these tiny little jobs that could take 5 minutes to fix.
Yeah, and with London rents, that's too much, isn't it?
Yeah.
Dom, you're into home renovation, aren't you?
Yeah. So I'm at an advantage. So I can already do a lot of DIY and renovations. So I might not need to use this AI as much as someone else who doesn't know. But this tool is more specifically for people who don't have a clue.
Yeah, for me it was great because I'm terrible at DIY. I'll just get someone in to do it. So just getting your phone and pointing it at the problem and it telling you, explaining to you what tools you need, how to fix it.
So for example, Duncan, we can see there's loads of chipped paint off the side of this table right here.
Gemini, help us.
Gemini, you pointed it there and it will tell you exactly what colour match you need, where to get the paint from and how long it's going to take.
We never zoom in that much. People don't need to know that the teal
Hey, you don't want to know what's underneath.
Is going.
It's disgusting.
Hey,
a lot of chewing gum lovers.
You know, but that's television, isn't it? After all your years,
hide the secrets
in studios. It's a lot of show, isn't it?
It certainly is.
Do you miss the TV, the kids' TV?
Yeah, I mean, just looking at those clips, it's bizarre because we were only in our 20s when we were doing that.
Yeah.
You know, it's so many years ago now. But yeah, we laughed, didn't we, a lot? We laughed every weekend.
We were very lucky to be doing Saturday morning kids TV.
Yeah.
It doesn't exist anymore.
No.
And it was at a time, it really was a time of family unity. So everyone used to sit down, the grandparents, the parents, the kids, and everyone used to just enjoy the weekend, switching off to work, to school and everything. And it was a really important time. And it was before social media, so, you know, no kids were scrolling. So you'd lock in for 2 or 3 hours and just watch great fun.
Yeah. The thing is, children's TV gave us a lot of our entertainment presenters that we have today.
Yeah.
So do you worry then that without those shows that we're losing that sort of routine?
Yeah, where are those people come? I suppose you could say influencers now are the new stars of the...
Does that not annoy you a bit, though?
Well,
no,
because one of you started making tea, didn't you, at the BBC?
Yeah, I did. I was a tea boy at BBC TV Centre.
So that's quite an honest way into the business, isn't it?
Start at the bottom, work your way up,
Yeah, but if you look at everyone from like Fern Cotton, Vernon Kay, Anton Deck, you know, you're absolutely right. They all started in Kids TV. Holly Willoughby, Stephen Mulhern, all started in Kids TV and then, you know, transitioned to become the big stars of the silver screen.
Some people might say it's a shame that it's not there. How much do you get to work together apart from on your AMI tour?
Well, we've been working together now for 30 years,
Yeah.
can you believe? Next year, we've been together 30 years.
Yeah.
And we just work every day. We do a lot of gigs around the country.
Yeah, because you're into DJing
DJing,
now,
a lot
aren't
of
you?
live DJing, yeah.
So we DJ drum and bass and house nights all over the UK. Dance music was always a massive passion of ours anyway. And now we kind of realised when we stopped doing Kids TV about, 7 years ago, we went, well, what should we do? And we went, well, the kids that used to watch us are now kind of clubbing age.
Yeah.
Let's go.
We've all grown up together.
Stick together.
Yeah.
What a night
We'll
out
all
that
be doing
must
garden
be.
as well before you know it.
Can I introduce you to Sally?
Please.
A woman
Sally.
who I think should have been a children's presenter.
I should have been great.
You would have been.
Because, I mean, she has the energy for it.
You would have been a Blue Peter speciality.
How did you know? Do you know, I never got my Blue Peter badge, but I will hopefully scratch that itch, maybe just by scratching my leg, I think. It's probably the closest I'm going to get to it. Anyway, trip down memory lane. I've been on one as well. Hidden London, our lovely series where we take people that love London to their favourite hidden bit. And today we're taking Ben Smithies, the Unseen Tours Guide. Actually, he took me on a free tour to Clerkenwell and King's Cross for some real treasures there. Here we go.
In the heart of London's metropolis, there are tales as old as time, from fossils to the phone box, the grave to the garden. Our host today is in history heaven. It's Ben Smithies from Unseen Tours.
My favourite hidden bit of London is King's Cross and Clerkenwell, because in these areas you never stop uncovering new secrets.
We start our tour by a tomb that may have inspired one of London's great legacies, although someone was a little bit slow.
Does that form remind you of anything?
No.
It doesn't. If it were painted bright red, gloss red, it's the phone box. It was the inspiration for our classic British red telephone boxes.
No, that was inspiration for the red phone box.
Yes.
We're standing in the cemetery of Old St Pancras, which is one of London's most ancient churches. And there's another well-loved grave here too, that of the famous feminist Mary Wollstonecraft, who's also the mother to Frankenstein's creator, Mary Shelley.
I love the way this tomb is brought to life by people who have recently left things like American coins, there's a cigarette.
Unsmoked.
And various different things that make you think that people are paying homage to her even right now.
We leave behind the leafy church, head through a busy King's Cross and come out the other side in Clerkenwell. The streets are still etched with echoes of its creative past, and eventually we come round a corner to this.
Ben, it's extraordinary, isn't it? What is it?
Well, this, Sally, is, I think, the most interesting building in London.
Really?
It's called 15 Clerkenwell Close, and it's a building which both looks backwards and also looks forwards.
It looks forward in its design, but backwards because it's made of the same stone that the Normans built a monastery here with more than 1,000 years ago.
And what's up here, Ben?
So I'd like to show you something now which is 100 million years old, hidden away.
Wow.
It is, of course, a fossil of a sea creature buried in the stone.
Wow, special?
Yes, one of the oldest things you can see in London. I'm a forlorn waver, as many a one knows.
We finish our trip not at a pub, but a park.
I've worn out me clothes.
This Poor Weaver's song was written the year a People's Rebellion happened here.
Sparfields, 1816, beginning of the Industrial Revolution, loads of soldiers coming back from the Napoleonic Wars, no jobs for them. Massive demonstration here, people wanted to be able to vote. And a small group went off and they aimed to take over the Tower of London and the Bank of England.
Gosh.
And topple the government.
Obviously, they didn't succeed, but people like Ben make sure that this and the history of the whole area are never forgotten.
Ben, if you had to describe this place in one word, what would it be?
Multi-layered.
Multi-layered weather today, cold and then sunny and lovely.
Such a good description. You start off cold in the morning, then you're really warm by the afternoon. Enjoy it, because we've got a bit of a change coming. So as we get to the start of October, really Thursday night into Friday, we start to get a little bit of a breakdown. But the next few days are lovely and sunny. Here we go, let's take a look.
Come rain or shine, Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
Hello again and a very good evening to you. I love photographs like that. They're so calming, aren't they? Just beautiful. Weather's not bad either. Dry with some sunny spells over the next few days, some cool nights still, and then it becomes a bit more unsettled as we end the week. Let's take a look at the pressure chart. So high pressure over us at the moment, keeping things settled, perhaps turning a little cloudier into Wednesday and Thursday. The fronts tend to stick to the northwest, but by Thursday night, it looks like we'll see this one move across us and likely bring some rain with the winds picking up as well. But the details getting a bit more sparse as we get towards the end of the week. We will, of course, wait till it firms up and let you know. So for the rest of this evening, there's a bit of cloud outside, but we'll see plenty of clear spells overnight, and so those temperatures tumbling away. A little bit of mist and fog once again is possible in a few spots, and we'll probably rest in those mid-single figures. So feeling a little bit fresh, a bit autumnal first thing tomorrow morning. You might have a bit of mist, and we've also got some lovely sunshine heading our way. There's a bit of cloud around, but much like today, hopefully won't spoil things too much. As you get that sunshine coming through, we could get up to 18 to 20 degrees, so it's quite warm. You'll be coat on, coat off, but out of it a little bit cooler, although we have got light winds. For the evening, a dry night to come with a mix of clear spells and clouds, so overnight, under those clear skies, temperatures will fall down again. So rinse and repeat really for Wednesday and Thursday, although perhaps a touch more cloud as the week goes on. Temperatures doing really quite well into Friday or later on Thursday. That's when things just start to change a bit. Take care. Cheerio.
Octopus Energy sponsors ITV London weekday weather.
And finally, it was the icing on the cake of a brilliant sporting weekend, seeing Europe retain the Ryder Cup on US soil late last night. And at the heart of the winning team, 3 Londoners, Justin Rose, captain Luke Donald, and the victory clincher himself, Tyrrell Hatton from High Wycombe. The 33-year-old's putt on the 18th secured the half point needed to win the Ryder Cup outright in New York. Anton Allen watched the drama unfold.
Londoners take down the Yanks. Tyrrell Hatton's winning putt was a fitting end to the Ryder Cup after weeks of the US president verbally attacking the capital.
Are you watching Donald Trump? Are you watching Donald Trump?
Trump had to watch just what London star golfers united with their European teammates can achieve against the United States. Hatton's former caddy was glued to the screen as the European team held off an American fight back. He knew what that shot meant to his good friend.
Tyrrell's has got, nerves of steel, and this is such a great person to have at the back end of the field. And obviously, when it came down to it, we needed that half just to make sure it wasn't just retaining it and it was actually winning it. And he dug deep and got it done, which was just absolutely phenomenal.
Justin Rose led Europe out on the final day. With a sizable lead, the singles seemed nothing more than a formality. But it looked like the rub of the green was on the US's side, as Rose's wayward swing put him in the car park. But luck and skill hadn't abandoned the Putney man, as he pulled off a miracle shot that set the tone for his side.
It's just unbelievable.
The US president has repeatedly spoken about crime in the capital, but it was American fans' bad behaviour that was on show in New York. European golfers were abused by the home crowd, and even a drink was thrown at Rory McIlroy's wife. But fans weren't able to intimidate Luke Donald's team. The 44-year-old was born in Hemel Hempstead. He now has a place in history as only the second Ryder Cup captain to win home and away. Golfers from across Europe celebrated together for the last time until another 2 years come by. Anton Allen, ITV News.
Right, that is it from us. The evening news is next with Geraint. From all of us in London, though, thank you for watching. Do have a lovely evening. Bye-bye.